So something that came up during the Leviathan Poi retreat, a little idea, is this. Repeating something over and over again is not necessarily good practice. It's just repeating something over and over again. What I mean by that is this. We'll take an example. Say you've just learned the backward 5-beat weave, and you want it to be nice and clean, but it's looking more like this. So there's a chance that if you just keep playing with it, keep repeating it, that you will slowly make it cleaner and cleaner, and that in a week it will be a nice clean backward 5-beat weave, and then you can go from a forward 5-beat weave and get all that hang time into a backward 5-beat weave and back, etc. But often that's not what happens. Often people will they've just learned a move, and they don't like how it looks, and they'll repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, but it won't get better. At that point, all that repetition begins to be a problem because you're ingraining what you don't want into your muscle memory. Because if you take something like, say, a backward weave that looks like this and repeat it 10,000 times, that'll be your ingrained way of doing it. So if you play with something a little bit, after a little while, ask yourself, is it improving? If it is, great, you can just keep playing. But if it's not improving, I recommend breaking it down into pieces so that you can work on it where you can see that it is improving. So with a backward 5-beat weave, I would do this. I would say, well, first off, I think an important part of that move is how the wrists move together. So I would say go to one poi, and for a little while, really just work on how are your wrists curling around each other. Are they really snaking around each other, really wrist to wrist, like you're doing a hand dance? When you've got that with one poi, maybe go to two poi, but start just backward split time and just pick a side and say, okay, my right's gonna come snake around my left. And just repeat that, just that part, or on my left, around my left. One of my favorite long-term tips is being able to loop that part, as a 2-beat weave. That's a really good way to get really smooth with 5-beat weaves. So if you see some improvement with the right around the left, also do the left around the right. And the reason I think it's good just to start from split time is that you can really see just one part of the pattern. And boom. Now doing this, I can almost guarantee you'll be able to see improvement if you just take a piece and just work on a piece. It's like taking apart your car engine and just working on the part that's not working. And when you've seen improvement on both sides, go back to the full pattern and see if it's improved. So almost always, working on the pieces results in faster progress than working on the whole move. Take it with a grain of salt, but it's often the way I practice. Another great example is I was recently working with my fire poi, thinking I want to be able to do a spiral wrap around one hand, be able to catch the poi at the end so I can freeze, all majestically and unspin. But it wasn't quite working. I was wrapping, and I wasn't quite able to catch the final poi. And for a little while, I was doing it over and over and realized, okay, I'm not getting anywhere. Then I realized I'm not even sure the poi that I'm almost catching is that my left poi or my right poi? And so I had to unwind them. Figure, okay, it's the left poi that I'm almost catching, and it wasn't going far enough. Then I realized, okay, it's all about the length of this poi that I give around this hand. Whether I am sort of away from it or close or really going further will determine whether that poi lands in my hand or not. So then I knew what to do. So I was like, okay, so what I need to do is give it a little more room, and then I can catch it. So once I had stopped, realized I wasn't making progress, looked more closely at what I was doing, determined what I might need to change, then I was able to make progress. So that's, those are just some examples towards a general philosophy. If you're working on something, if you're not clearly seeing you're making some progress, then change what you're doing. Break it down, break into its pieces, figure out what bit you can work on or what needs to change, and you will see a lot more progress. So I hope this helps. I like making these videos for you. I would like to say again, check out my online courses or my new patreon.com campaign. Those are great ways to support me if you would like to see me keep making videos like this. And come join us here at Leviathan Studio next year, because it's a lot of fun. That one was pretty good.